Aston Villa were playing in the Championship as recently as 2019. Yet now, under Unai Emery, they were playing European football and challenging for the Premier League's Big Six, after being relegated from the Premier League in the 2015-16 season. In this season, the club faced some huge changes: a change in management, a change in ownership. One of the key turning points for Aston Villa was the acquisition by Nassif Sawiris and Wes Edens, who took over the club in July 2018. Under new ownership, the club invested significantly in player transfers, bringing in talented players to strengthen the squad. In the summer of 2018, the club signed players like John McGinn, Tammy Abraham, and Yannick Bolasie. The purchase of Aston Villa brought hope back into the club, and they developed a new philosophy. The Villa fans, for the first time since relegation, felt like they were going somewhere. During the 2018-19 season, under manager Dean Smith, Aston Villa reached the Championship playoff final, where they secured promotion to the Premier League by defeating Derby County 2-1. This marked their return to the top flight for the 2019-2020 season. This was after Tammy Abraham scored the winning penalty in the second leg of the playoff stage, due to the foundations of a brilliant squad being built by Villa, who were back in the top flight. In their first season back in the Premier League, Villa spent in the region of £150 million on some great players who would hopefully keep them in the Premier League. With the new signings in Tyrone Mings, Douglas Luiz, and Matt Targett, Villa were able to avoid relegation narrowly. Aston Villa faced a tough battle against relegation, but managed to secure their place in the top division on the final day of the season. This showed resilience and determination to stay up. Jack Grealish, Tyrone Mings, and John McGinn are notable names from that season, who all played an extra significant role that season, with Jack Grealish playing notably well for Villa. The 2020-2021 season saw further progress for Aston Villa under the management of Dean Smith. The season saw Villa gain exceptional progress. Villa appointed a new sporting director, Johan Lange. With the appointment of Johan, the club purchased players such as Matty Cash, Ollie Watkins, and Emiliano Martinez, all three of which turned out to be brilliant signings. Impressively, the club finished 11th in the Premier League. In the 2021-2022 season, Villa were not as successful. With a slow start to their campaign, Dean Smith was sacked, who was replaced by the infamous Steven Gerrard. The less we say about him, the better. After a 3-0 defeat to Fulham, Villa were left 3 points off the bottom and in desperate need of a new spark at the club. That's when they brought in ex-Arsenal boss Unai Emery, a highly praised, tactically sound manager. Hopes were high from the Villa fans to see what Unai could do with the promising Villa squad. Unai entered the club with instant impact. The club had a reshuffle of backroom staff, including the demotion of Johan Lange and bringing in some of his old friends from Sevilla. They gave Unai the power to bring in many of his staff members and analysts. Since appointing Unai, Nassif Sawiris and Wes Edens have not looked back. They have allowed Unai to bring in his distinctive football characteristics to attach itself to the club's identity. With Unai's attractive brand of football on display, he's been able to attract his own brilliant signings, including Moussa Diaby, Yuri Tielemans, and Pau Torres. Before Unai Emery took over Aston Villa, Ollie Watkins scored 2 goals in 14 games. Since Emery took over at Villa, he's had 23 goals in 39 games. This shows how effective Unai Emery's man management is. He's able to bring the best out of his players, and he can tailor their play styles to what he knows will win them games and score them goals. If you look at the squad, it has not actually changed too significantly since the last manager at Villa. What Emery's been able to do is get more out of the players that were already at the club. The difference in the way the club is managed since he took over is night and day. Unai is football obsessed and puts his everything into getting the most out of his players. The players have respect for Unai and want to play under his well-thought tactics and from his experience through winning trophies at Sevilla and Valencia. It's clear to see he's a very good manager. Unai has led Villa to European football for the first time since 2009 to 2010 season. He's completely changed the club and given players like Ollie Watkins, John McGinn and Diaby the confidence to go on to battle with the teams at the top like Man City and Liverpool. Villa currently, at the halfway point of the season, sit within the top three and have played extremely attractive football this season. They have scored the second most amount of goals this season behind Man City and are giving teams with a lot bigger budget a run for their money. The situation Emery has got himself into is spectacular. He's in a brilliant position and seems like he wants to take Villa to the next level in football. He's respected by all Villa fans and they absolutely love what he's doing. In his 50 matches at Aston Villa, he's performed nothing short of miracles and is treated as such. He's adored by the fans, fully backed by the ridiculously wealthy owners, and has a stable club in the top three of the best league in the world, and has total control on last word of backroom staff and players. What more does a manager need? I don't think he'll be swayed by offers from bigger clubs, because he is confident in what he's going to be able to do with Villa. I really hope they keep it up this season. He is the staple of a brilliant manager. He is the sole reason behind why Aston Villa have been able to turn the club around into an extremely positive direction. I cannot wait to see what Unai Emery and Aston Villa can do in the future. We all know that they have the potential to go even further, and maybe even make some serious progress in Europe. We've seen it with West Ham. I think they'll be able to do amazing this season. But we'll just have to wait and see how they perform. That brings me to the end of this video. Please let me know in the comments below what you think about Aston Villa this season. Where do you think they'll finish? Thanks for watching this new Football Cave video, and I'll see you next week at 5 p.m. for another football video. See ya.